Okay.
Hello, hello. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome Falasha Day. Thank you, Rafi. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome to the APWB Instagram Live Capacity Development Series. You are all welcome. Today promises to be amazing. Hello, Falasha
Hi,
Day.
Poki.
Hello.
I hope I'm in.
Good to see you. Yes, you are in. Can you please confirm that you can see both myself and Bimbo? Oh, wow, nice. Please, if you can see us, just give a wave, give a thumbs up. If you can hear me clearly, just indicate with a wave or a thumbs up or something. I can see Bimbo here and I can hear her.
Thumbs up.
Yay, excellent. Good. Thank you. Everyone, please come on board. Go call everyone that is cooling at home. They need to change gear today by the things they would hear. Excellent. You're all welcome. Thank you, Debbie Alade. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Just waiting a bit to get a bit more of us on board.
Hello, Poki. Am I good? Can you see me?
Yes, you're good. Bimbo, I can see you and I can hear you live and direct.
Okay, great.
Excellent. I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes. Right. So are we on board? Is everyone that's supposed to be here? We need more people joining. Please come on board. Everyone, come on board. Today is going to be a very interesting time. We started this series last year through the pandemic and all the times we were doing on lockdown. And we've been learning together. And each time we use the opportunity to just sharpen our skills, what we should be doing as women, how we should advance our goals, move forward on our various goals and objectives, and build strong foundations for our careers and for our companies and for our teams. Today is not going to be different. And I have a very, very important, interesting, and very, very amazing woman on board today, Mrs. Abimbola Komolafe, FCIB, FCA. She's the MDC of Threshold of Trust Nigeria Limited. Let me let people join us and just wave at us. Please come on board. Yes, they said Bims is looking cool, calm, and collected. I completely agree.
The haircut is doing the magic.
Yes. Yes. You're welcome for Akwe Chukwemeka. If I didn't get it right, just forgive me. But you're welcome. Everyone, please just join us and take a good seat. We're going to be learning. JG, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Mrs. Ibiwaye, she's on board. You're welcome. Amazing. Good. Where are all the ladies? Where are all the APWB ladies? Please join us and let us all learn together. Okay, by the dot of 6:05, we will start our conversation so that we have time to really deal with this topic. So, my name is Buki Oliadi. I manage customer experience and customer value management and communications at Polaris Bank. And as I said, today we have with us an amazing woman, Mrs. Abimbola Komolafe, FCIB, FCA. She is a finance professional with over 30 years experience in various sectors, which include banking, oil and gas, and consulting. She is currently the MDC of Threshold of Trust Nigeria Limited, as I stated earlier, and Threshold of Trust BDC Limited. These companies provide FX solutions, financial and business advisory services to their clients. She is also the executive director and co-founder of Rehoboth Dream Solid Foundation, that's RDSF, a foundation that focuses on promoting sustainable education, mentoring, and skill acquisition for the less privileged in order to give them a better footing towards economic empowerment. Abimbola is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, and a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN. She is also an associate member of Wimbase. Her passion for finance and education led her to create social media platforms, especially this one, Finance Coach BK, which she uses to educate and offer free financial literacy support to help individuals grow their wealth and attain financial freedom. She's married with 3 children. I've said to us that today promises to be interesting. You know that this is the month of women, or the Women's Month. We had the International Women's Day on the 8th of March. And really, whilst the theme of the International Women's Day has been choose to challenge, we find out that across spectrum, I've seen that a lot of the conversation has been around financial fitness. It's like you want to break the barriers for women. You need to get women into wealth, because when you make things happen, you have a voice. And one of the areas that has always been like a mirage for a lot of us women's folk is the wealth building area, and it should not be like that. So since we have experts amongst us who've walked this journey, we have with us Mrs. Abimbola Komolafe, Bimbo for short for today. She will allow me to call her Bimbo today. And we will go into the conversation right now. Just sit quietly and enjoy our conversation. So, Bimbo, I'm coming to you now, and we have all our ladies listening. So can you tell us about your journey to financial fitness and your interest in financial coaching? Why and how did you pick up financial coaching? I mean, if you're someone like me, zilch with the numbers, but you are a guru in that area. Why have you picked that? Why is it a passion for you? And why do you run the FCBK platform?
Thank you, Buki. It's a pleasure to be on this seat. You know, we sign in on the program month after month, but it's a privilege, and I'm pleased to be on the other side today, taking your questions.
Yes.
My journey to financial fitness, honestly, and finance coaching, it's very interesting because, like you read out, you know, I have accounting background. I'm a finance professional. You know, worked in the bank, worked in finance all my life, but I wasn't what you call financially literate, and we're going to get into that today. So okay. I had a comfortable job. I had a good job. I was earning well, but I wasn't taking the best decisions for the money. It all started in 2017, actually, when I was taking, I was breaking away from paid employment. So when I was transiting into being self-employed, when I was leaving my former employers, they did a 3-day workshop. Because I took a retirement for that organization. I took an early retirement. So they did a 3-day workshop to prepare the staff for life in retirement. And remember that's, you know, a chartered accountant, chartered banker, and my eyes opened to so many things. You know, they were encouraging us on what to do with, you know, the package they were giving us and how to spend money in retirement and everything. So in the midst of so many engineers and so many others, I found out that I also was saying, you mean it? You know, so, and then I looked back and actually discovered that I was earning well, but I was not intentional, you know, about what I was doing with the funds. So yeah, I was saving, I was investing, but they were not the best investments on the table because I would just go for what was available. Tax planning until probably a few months before I exited, before I realized that among so many colleagues in my office, I was probably the one of the 2 or 3 people paying the most tax, because
Wow.
I was not taking advantage of an opportunity to maximize my retirement savings to reduce taxes. So there's so many things, that I wasn't doing right. And then, when my eyes opened, I'm like, okay, I better do this better. I need to be able to plan taxes better. I need to be able to invest better. And, understand that I was prudent. It had nothing to do with, being prudent. I was prudent. I don't throw money around, okay? You could even call me thrifty, but that's not being financially literate.
Sure.
So, I would go for, what's just on the table. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to, start doing this better. And then I looked around and discovered that if an accountant and a chartered banker was in that situation, then many people are also in that situation. So I started reaching out to people in my network, offering advice, and then the passion. And some of my mentees just said, "Why don't you make this something where you can reach out and encourage much more, many more people?" So the journey started in 2017 when I was transiting to self-employment. Really.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Bimbo. So that takes us nicely to you introducing us to today's topic. There's a conversation around this. And when we were talking, I mentioned to you that it seemed like I'd had this conversation just like a few days ago. And one of the things that one of the speakers said to us is, look, financial fitness is our life now. If you've not started, today is the next best day to start. So over to you, Matt. Can you walk us through this topic, and then let's take it up from there.
Yeah. So the first question is, what is financial fitness? And financial fitness is the health of your personal finances, the situation of your personal finances, just like your physical health. You can be healthy or you can be sick. So when you're financially fit, it means that everything that has to do with your money is is healthy. Now, I like to equate financial fitness with what I call financial freedom and financial independence, because financial fitness, we've chosen to use the slang financial fitness today, but it's also the same as financial freedom and financial independence. There's so many definitions of financial freedom and financial independence, and actually people can decide, to pick which definition works best for them. But the one that I know is general, which all of us, around the call this evening should note, is that financial freedom is when you have enough money to pay your living expenses for the rest of your life without being dependent on anyone or being employed by anyone. I'll take it again. You have enough money, enough income to pay your living expenses, what you need to survive for the rest of your life without having to be dependent on anyone, not an uncle, not an auntie, or not an employer. So by yourself, you're self-sufficient to care for yourself for the rest of your life. Another definition says when your money doesn't control you, when you control your money. If you are in control of your money, some people say, I'm in control of my money. When you're in control of your money and the money is not controlling you, you also have financial freedom. Some people say financial freedom is when your passive income exceeds your living expenses. When your passive income exceeds your living expenses. And passive income is income that you earn without having to work a job. The income is coming to you. You don't have to work for it. That's why it's called passive. It's not active. It's not like salaried. It's not business earnings. So when your passive income exceeds your living expenses, you have financial freedom, which means you can sit on the sofa, on the couch, and your investments are working.
They're working,
bringing in enough money. Yes, bringing in enough money to take care of yourself. So you can also say, oh yes, I've arrived. I have financial freedom. Another one is where you have enough to meet all your obligations. Remember, we said earlier, your living expenses. All your obligations includes your living expenses and anything you would like to spend money on. if you have enough to take care of that, then you are at that place of financial freedom and financial independence. Now you say, why do we want to be financially free? I don't know. Let's say you're working today, Bookie. I know you don't want to work forever. I know you also I know you also expect grace, that you will be 70, 75, 80, 85. You want that grace. So you need financial freedom for your golden years. We call, the retirement period, the season when you're no longer working. We call that the golden season. So you need financial freedom to make sure that you have comfort in your golden season. Nobody wants to work for anybody forever. You also need financial freedom to be able to live the kind of life you want to live. You want to be able to visit a country that you like to visit. You want to be able to stop working. You want to be able to say, I don't want to work for 1 year. But you can't do that if you don't have financial independence. You can't do that if you don't have financial freedom. You also want to have financial freedom so that you can deal with emergencies. Okay? The people that were able to withstand the COVID surprise were mostly people who had their finances, who were financially fit. Okay? People who were financially fit did not feel the impact of COVID as much as those who were struggling. And as the conversation proceeds and extends today, we will get to the place where we will also understand that it's not a matter of earning 2 million a month. You can be earning 2 million a month, and I'm talking in Naira terms now. You can be earning 2 million a month and not be financially fit and not be financially free, and neither will you be financially independent. So it's a combination of many things. But let's look at it as we want to be confident to do what we want to do. We want to be able to speak the way we want to speak. We want to be able to deal with emergencies. We want to have that financial security. And to be honest, it also helps in relationships. Okay? If you have financial freedom, you don't have to be in a temporary or permanent relationship that you don't need to be in. So there are so many reasons for us to have this conversation. And I like the introduction you gave to it. More than ever, okay? For women to be equal to men in consideration, women must begin to take much more care about their finances. They need to be more intentional and more deliberate. Okay? Absolutely. That's a brief introduction.
Excellent. So there are it's a two-pronged question now I'm throwing your way. And thank you for, just liberating our minds around what financial freedom. You can see I'm using the word liberating because when knowledge comes to you, you start to understand.
It sets you free.
It sets you free. So now, what's the best way to stay financially intelligent or aware? And immediately just let me link it to the key elements of financial fitness. So it's a double barrel.
So why, what's the best way to stay financially
to stay aware?
Aware. Okay, to have financial intelligence and awareness. Okay. And the simple answer is to be financially literate. And so we'll just say, what is financial literacy? Financial literacy is what financial literacy gives you knowledge and skills to be able to manage your money effectively. Okay, it's not about how much you learned in the banking school or in the accounting school. It is the knowledge and the skill to be able to deal with your money and manage your money effectively. It's financial literacy is education about the strategies to make wealth, to grow it, and to retain it. So it basically has to do with your habits, your relationship with money, your habits with money, and how you handle money. And so having explained financial literacy, the next thing is, remember I say if you want to be financially aware, that means you have to get financial literacy. So once you understand what financial literacy is now, what's the best way to go about it? Something like we're doing now. And I keep saying thank God for the virtual world. The most important, the key thing I would like to share and put on the table this evening is that it has to be a deliberate action. You want to be financially literate, you want to have financial intelligence, you want to be financially aware, you must be deliberate about it. The same way we're deliberate about eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The same way we plan, I'm going to eat this for breakfast, for lunch. So you must be conscious the steps you take towards attaining financial literacy. So having said that, you can sign up for newsletters, okay? You can sign up for newsletters. There's so many finance coaches around. Just make sure that you are you're learning or following a person who has the right competencies. The right competence for that. So banks have newsletters, okay? I follow Business Day. Business Day, I subscribe for Business Day. So you also have to be careful so that you don't finance coaches online, listen, Twitter, Instagram. You'll be surprised what one tip a day can do in your financial journey. Read up articles on websites, listen to podcasts, listen to radio programs. I remember when I first started working for myself in 2017, I made it a deliberate action to listen to Fidelity SME every 6 a.m. on Tuesdays. And I learned so much because I'd done 30 years working in a corporate organization where everything was handled for me. I was now setting up afresh to, manage people, manage systems, and then manage the peculiarities of the Nigerian economy. So, but I would listen to Fidelity SME and I learned a lot. So we listen to radio programs, attend webinars. Thank God for the virtual world. There's so many free webinars happening here and there. I still sign up for webinars. I'm a finance coach, yes. I'm a chartered accountant, yes. I'm a chartered banker, yes. But any opportunity I see, I like to sign up. When you were saying earlier on, Bookie, that your bank organized, I was so jealous, and I couldn't say to you, I don't bank with Polaris. So did you say Polaris?
Yes, Polaris.
No, but I do bank with Polaris. I do bank with Polaris. Okay. I'm surprised I didn't get the notification. But when the banks, organize these webinars and send out notifications, I look at the speakers, I look at the topic, and I quickly just plug it into my calendar. Okay. And there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. And then attend webinars, have the finance coach or mentor who you can go to and ask for ideas. I'll give you one example before we continue. Elevation Church organized something recently, and I just plugged into the program on a Saturday. And then I was listening to, I call him Elder Rewane Bismarck, that's his name, right?
Yes.
And then he said something about, the capital markets, the stock market bubble. I listened to that program for 1 hour. Of course, there'll be so many things he said that I already knew. But he called my attention to the stock market bubble, and he said Q1. I quickly took that information and I went back to my senior finance coach, who is my husband, and I said, look, this is information I got from this program. And we had to react. We did react with that little information. So you can imagine if I didn't sign up for that webinar. And I said, I'm a finance coach, I know it all. So let's drop it there. So Instagram, follow Instagram pages. It pops in when you're in traffic. You read relevant pages instead of Nollywood and Big Brother Niger updates. You get your finance coach popping in, a wisdom tip. Listen to podcasts. I deliberately listen to podcasts. Deliberately. One person I like listening to. Remember, we're talking about mentoring. We already mentioned financial mentoring. I love listening to Pastor. I think Adeyemi, that's his name, right? I'm in the bathroom, I'm cleaning in the kitchen, I'm doing something. I am listening to a podcast. I don't waste any time. So that's, those are a few tips on how to stay, financially literate. Yeah, you have to be deliberate. You have to create the time, and you have to do, a combination of what works for you in all that I have mentioned and put on the table. Can you hear me, Buki?
Yes, I'm with you.
Not too loud and not too low, right?
Yes, you're good. Just continue. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm done. I'm done with that.
So you have to tell us about now the second leg of my question was the key elements of financial fitness.
Oh yeah. So the key elements I like to, because financial fitness it's a combination and a bunch of many things. But what I have done, and makes it easy for me to share with people, is I have spread the actions that we need to take and the things that we need to do into three categories. And I coined an acronym, and prepared. I have a manual that speaks to these 3 points. And the first, I call it the ESI model, which is you earn more, you save better, and you invest well. If you do those 3 things, you're on a right track to being financially fit. So I call it the ESI model. You earn more, you save better, and you invest well.
Excellent. Excellent. I mean, it seems like we've all been to one school this week. So, as I said to you, once you've heard something twice in your life, you know God is talking to you. So, I'm listening attentively, I tell you. So, tell us more about ESI model, as you've just mentioned. Can you elaborate about it? As I said, it sounds simple. Earn more, save better, invest well. What does that mean for you and I? I mean, okay, no, you are the guru here. I'm the student. So,
well,
what does that
mean? It's
a
journey. It's a journey.
Yes. And for us, earn more, save better, invest well.
Invest well.
Talk to us about that. Yeah.
Okay. So we would try to put cramp as much as we can into the 3 categories. We can't talk about everything today, but
absolutely.
anymore. When I talk to people about anymore, I talk about 2 things, and I say you must have multiple streams of income. You must not rely on just one source of income. Either you own your own business or you're working for someone. You must be able to earn money from more than one source of income. The second thing is that you must value time. They say there's no, the poor man and the rich man, we breathe in the same air. The poor man and the rich man, God gave us all 24 hours in a day. The rich man doesn't have more than 24 hours. So Buki and Bimbo have 24 hours, Dangote and Otedola, they have 24 hours. Now,
that's very unfair.
Don't worry. You're not as old as they are, so you're on your way. Don't worry. We are on our way.
There's room. Okay.
After today, there's a lot of room, and we are very grateful for where we are at. We all can be $10. Yeah. Absolutely. So, absolutely. Yeah. So what I was just trying to say is that what you do with your time, with your 24 hours, is very important. Okay. Remember, we're talking about earning more. Yes. Now, we talked already about having more than one source of income, and then we said we should value our time. Okay. Maybe let me just talk about multiple streams of income. They call it the young ones call it hustle, your side hustle. What I always say is the fact that you're working for an employer does not mean you shouldn't do something on the side. What is important is that you do not contravene the terms of your employment. It's very important. You must, if you're, you cannot, you can only do what's does not put you into trouble. Now, there's so many things that you can do on the side. And I like to say to people, it's very good to see young graduates, I know there are different people around the call, to see young graduates seeking employment and all of that. But it's good, and once you get a good job, you're very grateful to God, you've gotten a good job. But from the day that you get the first good job is when your mindset should start changing to the fact that you do not want to have just that single job. Okay. So there are so many things that we can do. We can do on the side. I hate to say it because I know people, depending on your age and the experience that you have, when you can start a business on the side, you can start you can turn your passion into something that can make money for you. And sometimes it's not as complicated as we think. You just have to look around and see what service we can offer. What can I do that people will be ready to pay for? And I always try to, and remember to put, it has to be legal. What can I do legally? For people who sit in the office like you, some of the things that you can do which will not impact your job is marketing. And marketing can be at any level. You can sign up to market the product of a beverage company, you know, or any company that sells or produces, products. But you can also, as you're sitting there, Bookie, and you have to pay me for this tip, you can be a marketer for a property developer in the UK, Bookie, because you're a GM, so you're a big woman, right? So
Okay.
I'm not going to say that your side hustle should be turning your car into Uber. For young graduates, for younger people, you know, and it doesn't have to be younger people, for people who can conveniently do that, that's a side hustle. But at your level, there are side hustles that you can do. You just have to be deliberate to look out and say, you know, people are looking for people of integrity to be their, you know, their face in Nigeria. So there's so many things. There's and there are online services that you can offer editorial services. Maybe over the weekend when you're relaxing, you can edit write-ups for people. You can research on, you know, some finance coaches look for people to give them content. And these things are not things that we shouldn't look down on them. I might not be able to put all the possible side hustles on the table for the different categories of people this evening. But people blog on the side. You create a blog. You can create a blog. It will begin to make money for you at some point. The COVID era meant that many people who had working capital and, you know, money to start a logistic business. I saw many people starting logistic business. They didn't have to start, you know, riding the bike. They just created jobs for people, and delivery service with in the virtual world and the social distancing picked up. You know, you can decide to do farming. You can go into agreement with some friends and get some people together. It will be your side hustle, and you just pay attention to it at some point. And then remember, I said it depends on your age brackets and, you know, the stage of life where you are at. You can consult, you know. You can sell products. You can live in an estate and say to everybody in the estate, I sell organic products. I have this in stock. Exactly. So just look around and see what service you can offer. You know, if many people are looking for support in the area of managing their digital presence, social media. You know, those are things you don't have to do full time. Can create money for you. Can give you money. Of course, if you have the funds, you know, real estate can. There's so many things. So that's not talking about anymore. And then talking about our time. I like to say to people that don't sign up for a job that is not paying you well, because that means you are giving up your 24 hours. You are giving up your Bookie. You're frozen. Can you hear me? Hello, Bookie. Okay, can you hear me? You're frozen. Okay, because the screen, I have your picture is frozen. Okay, so I was saying that for any more, we have to make sure that we apply our 24 hours very well to earn maximally. Hello? Speak on. I can see chats and hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so what I was saying is that I said under any more, remember we're looking at the ESI model, under any more, we said side hustle is good, and that we must be conscious of it from the day we even get into paid employment. Then I was talking about the 24 hours, and I was saying we have to use our 24 hours well. Because once you sign up for a job, you're limited, you're constrained in your search for jobs. You're focused on delivering on your tasks and targets. And so, you know, the ability and capacity to begin to look for work is not so much. So before you even sign up for something, make sure that it's worth your 24 hours. And I'm talking to, you know, people who are in corporate environments, but even those people I call, people who are, you know, call them artisans, make sure that you take up only jobs that will give you maximum pay. Because once you commit to a job, and you negotiate what you're getting on that job, your 24 hours is tied, to that. So yeah, so that's for any more. Let's talk. Let's talk quickly about saving better.
Yes. Very
Uh,
quick.
yes, very quickly. What I've started to say is that no matter what you earn, it's very important to put something aside. I was speaking once, to a group, and a gentleman asked a question and said, the money is not even enough for me, and you're saying I should save more. But the trick is, and I'll go back to, the COVID example. If your employer says the organization is going down and we're not going to be able to pay your 100% salary anymore, we'll now start paying you 80%. You're going to adjust. And that did happen during the COVID era. Some organizations, some banks in particular, reduced the payments to their staff, and people survived. So it's just a matter of discipline. And if people find it very, very difficult to save, and you cannot be financially fit until you get into having a good saving habit. Okay. And it's also very important that we should save. We should save for emergencies. Remember, today we're having a conversation around our habits and our relationship with money, or what we can deal with, how we can handle money. So we talked about saving for emergencies. We said it earlier on. The people that had savings were able to deal better with COVID. There's so many benefits of saving. Now the question is, how can I save better? If you plan, if you have a financial plan and you work with a budget and you track. So, I try to, break everything into models and, boxes that can make it easy for people to apply. So we say save better. To save better, you have to have a financial plan. You have to have a plan for your money. Okay, you have to have a plan for your money. They say the devil finds work for idle hands. The devil also finds work for idle money. That is the truth. Not only the hands. The devil will help you find work
for it. Yes.
For it. So it's not only for idle hands. So you have to have a good financial plan. You have to say, this is where I want to be at the end of this year. Of course, there can be short, medium, and long-term plans. This is where I want to be. I told you I took early retirement from my former employer in 2017. It had been on the table from 2012. My life partner had said from 2012, you should take exit and you should begin to work for yourself. But we had to plan. So we say in this period, at this time, when the environment is okay, this is where we're going to be at. So there must be a financial plan, and you must be very disciplined to stick to your financial plan. And then with your plan, you will have a budget. And a budget is putting figures, putting estimates to your expected income and your expected expenditure. If you don't have a budget, you're going to be out of line.
Wow.
If you don't work with a budget, you'll be out of line. Now, tracking is very, very important. Tracking means every single thing that you earn, you must be aware of it and you must record it. And every money, every amount that you spend, you must record it. I'll make you laugh, Bookie. My young daughter, I wasn't always financially literate, but I told you I was always prudent, and there's a difference between it. When my youngest daughter was, I think she was about 9 or 10, I can't remember, they went to KFC. And she came back with the receipts, and she said, Mama, here is the receipt of KFC. And I said, what am I doing with the receipt of KFC? And she says, you're going to record it. You keep everything. You file everything. And I said, oh my God, this must be bad. This must be terribly bad. But that's just to make you laugh. I keep a record of everything. Everything. If you don't track, you're not going to know when your budget is out of, it's going wacky. You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
If you had budgeted to spend maybe 20,000 on eating out in a month, if you don't keep record of what you spend and you don't go back to check if you did spend within the limit, you're not going to be in control of your money. Remember, one of the definitions we had earlier was that financial freedom is you controlling your money, not your money controlling you. True. So I don't know what we're doing for time, but let's. So that's it. So for you to be able to save better, you must have a financial plan and you must stick to it. Okay? You must have a plan, you must stick to it. You must work with a budget. And I hear people saying, I have a budget. And I say to people, it's not a budget in your head. write it out. It's not a budget in your head. There are so many apps and softwares that deal with that you can use to budget, but it's not complicated. You don't even need to go that far. Get a simple exercise book and a biro. Write out what your money is you're going to apply your money to for a specific period.
Yeah.
And at the end of the period, match your expenses that you have tracked or additional income that came your way. Match it against what you plan to do. You'll see the variances and you will see where your pressure is coming from. If you don't track, you don't, and I'm not, and it's not that you now begin to, go into too many details, but at least have some boxes, have some big boxes for feeding, for transport, for beauty, for fitness, for health, for entertainment, and if you're the type that gives out support, welfare, if you're the type that helps people, welfare, how much
as well.
And then we're all Africans. What is going to the extended family? What is going to your your parents or the people that are dependent on you? So you need to work with a budget. So 3 elements under saving better. You need to have a financial plan, you need to work with budgets, and then it's very important to track. These are simple things. They seem so simple, but if you don't if you don't deliberately decide that you're going to do things better, it will just remain as it is.
Exactly. Wow. Quite an eye-opener. So there's one left, the invest bucket. So this is how we do it. So the invest well bucket, you just take it and quickly talk to us about the investment and the tips for investment. But I'm just giving you 5 minutes to round up on investment because I still have 1 or 2 things that I want us to touch so that people get a little bit more before we get into time. And I'm watching the space in case there's any, please, if there's any peculiar question you want to ask Bimbo, kindly type it in. I would pick it up and we would ask her. But I can tell you I've done a lot of homework on your behalf. So she would do us a lot of, good with some of the tips she will share with us. So let's do investment for the next 5 minutes and all the tips and things around it. Yes, please.
Around the investment, okay. So I think maybe the first question will be, what is investment? We've already said earn more, save better. So
And
investment is, and invest well. Investment is sending your money on an errand. Sending your money on an errand to work for you and to get better. So putting your money in a financial opportunity, a project, or a scheme with an expectation for profit or to grow that money. So it's you're putting your money into something that will grow the money. So you're expecting profit. You're not just putting your money into it for the fun of it. It's an anticipation and expectation that that money will grow or that you will get profit. So that is the simple definition of investment. Now, because you've given me just 5 minutes, maybe the key thing I want to say to people about investment, and when you hear investment, you hear diversification. Good, it's good to diversify. But the first thing, and if there's anything that I like people to know, is I say, don't invest if you don't understand. Don't invest if you don't understand. That's one policy that I work with. And it's something that has worked for my family. No matter how robust it is, no matter how juicy it is, if we don't understand it, we're not going to invest. So for investment, people must understand the opportunities and the options that are on the table. Don't follow the Joneses, not because this gentleman has started a farm. You go and start a farm. Understand the peculiarities of farming. And because your neighbor decided to go and buy shares in Dangote cement or Dangote salt, you don't know the rest of his portfolio. Don't rush to do it. So investment is to invest well. It's also a bucket of many things. But I would like to say before you invest something, the personal factors to watch out for, the factors to watch out for from your personal peculiarity, your own situation, is, remember we talked about financial goals.
Yes.
So your investment will be patterned after your financial goal. What is the objective of that investment? What are you trying to achieve? Then your risk appetite. Are you one that is happy to take risk, or are you a conservative investor? And it all depends also on what your portfolio, your investment portfolio is. What the situation is with that, and then your personal circumstances and your requirement for liquidity. Okay, your immediate liquidity requirements. If somebody decides to buy 10 million naira shares of MTN, you must find out. You don't know the ratio of that investment to his liquidity.
The overall, yeah.
Overall picture. So it's very important. So your personal circumstances, you must make sure that you check all that before you invest. And then the season of life that you are in will also determine how you invest and what you invest in. Typically, younger people who don't have families, they take more risks. So are you a young graduate? Are you mid-level management? Are you self-employed? Are you a business owner? Are you facing retirement? Are you already retired? Or are you at that phase of 2012 when I said I was looking forward? So that phase will determine the kind of investments that you go for. And that is, and then your family circumstances. You cannot go and tie down the money you use to pay your children's school fees in some investments. So your liquidity requirements are very important. Now, talking about the investment itself, like I said earlier, it's very important to understand every investment opportunity well, okay? For new investors, it's very important to seek proper counsel and advice, okay? There's so many advisors there. If it's shares, stockbroking firms will gladly sit with you. And the banks are very kind to us. The banks are kind to us. There is wealth management department in most banks. And I think once I was speaking and somebody was trying to allude to the fact that if they don't have so much money, the banks won't listen to them. And I said, no, it doesn't work like that. And if the banks won't listen to you, look for people who are giving back, who are doing coaching like I am doing, who are doing it, and they'll support you. I mentioned diversification, which is one that everybody knows. Don't put all your eggs in the same basket. We're talking investment now, and diversification is there are different levels of it. Even when you're buying shares, you stagger the quality and the type of shares across different industries. If you're into real estate, you can build all the houses in Ado Ekiti. So there's so many. Diversification is important. I don't know if I still have time out of the 5 minutes. I doubt.
No, we've done 8 minutes, but you're still going to talk. I just wanted to help us roll ourselves around those tips so that people can really get the best out of. I mean, from what you just explained to us, starting from our earn more, save better, and invest well, you talked about the multiple streams of income, which is critical, and you've given us different examples. How to value our time, and that is what you
Okay, she's back.
Are we back?
Yes.
Apologies, net. And so, okay. So let's get back on track.
Yeah.
So I was talking around this, what Bimba is taking us through around Earn More, Save Better. Talking about the discipline, which is what helps us to save, and then planning, budgeting, and tracking. You know, those keywords, please keep them at the back of your mind. That's what's going to help us. And then we then go to the last one, which is invest well. And she's giving us all the issues that you need to consider. The one, in fact, you were explaining, you just said it to number one, we should not copy. If you find people who don't have your kind of circumstances, please don't go their way. For example, they don't have children to worry about and all that. Please don't go the same kind of direction in terms of spend. And in terms of getting help, that is one thing I think she has said here now. Get help, go to formal sector, go to informal, go online. Help is available. Get help today. Today we're getting help by being enlightened. So let's move on quickly now so that you help us seal this conversation. And we have about 8 minutes. So people struggle with financial fitness. People make money mistakes. Can you do us a quick pull this together, with tips? Because we're all listening. We would have either taken a side step. We've listened to your journey, how you've planned your retirement, how you've moved into, your self-employment, and how, whether you're self-employed or you're working with people, you must still do multiple streams. So now, how do we avoid those money mistakes? How do we ensure that we don't struggle with financial fitness, as you've been talking to us about? Please talk to us generally, just start pulling it together and taking us on the journey to rounding up in the next 7 minutes.
Thank you, Buki. Thank you. It's always a delight when I'm able to share with people who I know can correct their steps, on this financial fitness journey. And it's very important to always remember journey, because if you don't have that in your consciousness, then you think you get to a place of I have arrived. And if you ever get to a place of I have arrived with your wealth, the mistakes are going to come tumbling. You're going to get careless with your portfolio. You're going to get careless with the people you trust with your money. So there's no I have arrived. It's a journey. So talking about the struggle that people have with financial fitness, I think the first, I'll classify it under two headings. And the first one is ignorance. Financial ignorance can make a person earning so well not to attain the financial freedom that he or she should attain. Financial ignorance, not understanding the benefits of being financially literate. Not many people will be as lucky as I was, who wasn't so conscious, but didn't end up so badly. So you have to be, you don't have to be ignorant. And that's why I'm very grateful to the Association of Professional Women Bankers for this opportunity and for this kind of session. We need to begin to, so people who are struggling financially, okay, their financial journey is because they are not aware. And so there must be a deliberate attempt to be aware. So financial ignorance and then financial indiscipline. Financial indiscipline, lack of self-discipline, lack of self-control. Those are two key reasons why people fall into trouble, who begin to struggle with financial fitness. Ignorance, they don't even know what to do. And I'm not talking about how much you earn now. It's having the money and not knowing what to do with it, and then not earning well and not knowing how to earn better. So that's ignorance. It's one reason why people struggle. Then indiscipline, financial, you cannot be financially fit without being disciplined. So financial indiscipline, lack of self-discipline is one of the reasons. And I always recommend, to deal with this bookie, I recommend what I call financial detoxification. You know, like we ladies go to the spa, okay, I want to detox, you know, get the toxins that shouldn't be in our bodies out of our bodies. So financial detoxification, which means you look inwards and look at yourself. What are you doing wrong that you can amend, that you can repair? So just think of the word detoxification in the literal meaning and apply it to your money and say, this, I'm owing so much. Why am I owing so much? Or I get my money today, it goes tomorrow. Why? So the detoxification involves looking inwards. What relationship with money do you have? So we're talking about the struggle with financial fitness and all of that. Now we're talking about money mistakes, and you want me to quickly talk about that before we wrap up. One of the mistakes people make is, especially for people